Hi, how's it going? This is Resident of Collinwood for YouTube. Here to do a Dark Shadows video for you guys and gals. I'm starting a brand new series of videos doing character retrospectives from all three Dark Shadows movies: House of Dark Shadows, Night of Dark Shadows, and the 2012 Tim Burton uh, Johnny Depp Dark Shadows. I'm going to do House first because it was released first. I'm going to do them in order. So the character I'm doing first is Roger Collins. You would think I would do Maggie Evans first, but no, I'm going to do Roger first. Yes, every main character is going to get their own video, because I don't see the sense in combining the videos. I'm explaining this, I guess, and really, it makes more sense to do it that way. Now, you're going to hear other characters get mentioned in these videos, so plot points are going to get revealed in the movies. If you haven't seen them, apologies. Also, this is going to be a lot of fun because to break down the characters from the movies, it's I get to sort of examine the series as well to give you the difference. Now, to start off, as you guys, for most of you guys who are Dark Shadows fans, you guys know that none of the movies are canon to the series. None of them. Now, that being said, I am going to do a difference of how the characters are different from their series originals. So, Lewis Edmonds plays Roger Collins in the series, and he plays Roger Collins in the movie. What's the difference? The big difference with Roger in the movie is how kind he is to strangers. If you really, when I say that, it's not that Roger is unsociable in the series, mind you, but here's a guy in the series when he was up at Collinwood, he didn't want any strangers into the house of Collinwood. Liz was in charge. Um, you know, in the movie, this is not your series Roger Collins. He's very much open to in fact he loves the fact that they're having a party at Collinwood, a costume party at Collinwood. He's all for it. uh, the series Roger Collins would not be for this party at all, rest assured. Another really cool factor is that I get the sense that Roger in the movie, he is not necessarily cruel to David in a way. He's stern with him, sure, but he's not cruel with him. He does care for David. You're not going to get the Roger David hatred in this movie. You are going to get it in the series for sure. And that's another factor, too, that Roger and David, you don't get the sense that they hate each other, that Roger is more of a father in the movie, at least from a short term standpoint, because again, with a series, you're doing a lot of character development. Over time, Roger does become a better father, really heavily during the Phoenix arc. Um, he becomes a better father there. That's sort of his start to path to redemption a bit, not completely though. In the movie, there's no Phoenix arc. There's no none of that. So again, you're not the. Do you get character development in the movie? Yes, but not a ton. You're getting little how do I put it? Sprinkles of character development. You're getting enough separation to differ the characters from the movie to the series. if that makes sense. That Roger, he loves the fact that they're having a party. He's very much concerned for his son's whereabouts because he's looking for his son. He even tells Willie, "Hey, you need to look for my son." He's looking for him too. You could tell Roger's not just out there to go get Willie. Also, I love the fact that when David comes back and sees Carolyn again, like I've mentioned, you're gonna get other character mentions in these videos. So David just saw Carolyn come back from the grave as a vampire. He's frightened. He's scared. He says he saw her. He saw her. Roger's upset with him, but he also there's this really cool moment. You see Lewis Edmonds, Roger Collins look at his son and how worried he is for his. There's so many thoughts going through Roger's mind, and you sort of wonder. It looks like he's wondering if his son is going crazy. Um, because afterwards, the conversation between between everybody and Stokes is just pure good. Um, Roger, he just looks at Stokes. He's not too happy. Um, but he's also concerned for his son. I mean, this is a man, who's not expecting his son to come to him and say, "I saw Carolyn alive." This is not. Now, I will say this: the and to give a hint who my next character is, tomorrow I'm doing David because the David Collins in this movie is not completely the David Collins from this series, and I can't wait to cover him tomorrow for you guys. That's my tease. That's another reason I wanted to start with Roger because of Roger and David. Lewis Edmonds does a great job in this movie, by the way. Again, he's not the star, he's not the focus, but he does do a good job of reviewing the history of Barnabas. Um, I really like his chemistry with everybody that he interacts with. Obviously, look, everybody in this movie is familiar with each other because they're all from the series. By the way, House of Dark Shadows, for those who don't know, was being filmed while this series was still going on. You might say, well, what about Barnabas? How did they handle that? Barnabas was chained up in his coffin thanks to the alternate version of Willie Loomis. Fun stuff. But the parallel time, Willie Loomis. Willie was a writer in parallel time. Fun. So there's that. That's how again they were babysitting the audience, if you will, the rest of the cast. That's a fun fact for Dark Shadows too. That it's interesting to know that this movie was being filmed while the series was going on, and to know that when you watch it too, go back and watch it too, makes it all the more fun. Especially when you go watch Parallel Time, by the way, um, which might get another shout out tomorrow, most likely. Obviously, I'm not going to get these done before Halloween, and by the way, there was no intent to get them done before Halloween. This was to lead you guys into November. These videos obviously go through November because again, each character is going to get their own video. Also, too, that with Roger in this, another thing that you don't get obviously is you don't get there's no Burt Devlin in this movie. So there's no backstory with Burt Devlin. There's no Laura. There's no mention of Laura Collins in this movie. There's no Phoenix. There's none of that. In every way, House is an alternate reality. House of Dark Shadows is an alternate reality to the series. It's its own thing. This is not. This is not the Dark Shadows series. And the movie makes this very, very evidently clear throughout its really through its characters, and that's another reason why I'm doing this too. It also I do know that um, when they get because I know uh, when Christine and Kara they want to do 2012's Dark Shadows movie. It's another reason I'm doing the character retrospectives so to lead up to their video. I don't know when they're going to do it, but so this is a lot of fun for me to do. Um, you'll get David tomorrow. I do think, by the way, too, with Roger in this, it's also important to know that, and again, I said you'll get other character mentions. The relationship between Elizabeth and Roger, it's more of an equal term. Like it's more of an equalship than Elizabeth having power over Roger. That's the sense I walk away from with the movie. I'm not saying Elizabeth isn't in charge of things, but she's not. This is not the Roger Collins from the series because Elizabeth isn't like, oh, I took you and your son in. Like, she's not saying that in the movie. There's not that verbiage in the movie. And you don't get the sense that there is that verbiage in the movie either. I do think there's a really good scene at the staircase between the two when they want to argue over David and how his pranks are very cruel. Um, to something I'm going to get into tomorrow that I'm going to save for tomorrow because I don't want to get too much into David here. And that's a discussion him and Liz have, and Roger doesn't want to get into it, with his sister. Like, I'm not having this discussion right now. He puts his foot down. Again, and him putting his foot down, that's just not something I feel like. I'm not saying Roger from the Collins series, Roger Collins from the series doesn't do that in a sense. There are moments he does that with other people. But with Liz, it's like you could tell when Liz put her foot down, Roger just like, okay. And like he knew he couldn't talk back at times. You didn't get that. To me, I don't get that sense here from either character. So I just want to spread that through both because again, I'm covering Roger. And when I touch upon Elizabeth, I'm going to mention a bunch of other characters too. Um, so David is tomorrow. I hope you guys have a great night. Sorry this took all day. I was very, very busy today throughout the day. I'll try to get tomorrow's video up a lot sooner. Um, Probably before 5 p.m. for sure. So you guys have a good one. Tomorrow night is the live stream story. I hope you guys will enjoy that one. But thank you everybody who has obviously been supporting the channel. I do from the bottom of my heart. Thank you everybody. It is truly fun to come on here and talk Dark Shadows and to be able to talk about the characters and stuff. So that was Roger. Also, Roger, by the way, Roger does get turned into a vampire. Funny thing is, though, you do see his reflection still as he's got the blood before he gets staked by Roger Davis. Uh, which I can't wait to get into Roger Davis's character too. That's going to be an interesting one. Um, Good actor. Everybody does a great job in the movie, I think, for the most part. Um, just the character retrospectives are going to be. They're not going to be the longest thing, is what I'll say. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys have a great night.